my god, like that little ghost coming out of her mouth, like I'm dying.
Oh.
That's what I use that one a lot.
The Ballman one. I like it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to jump right into this draft between 9Z Globant and Alpha7. 9Z Globant going to have the first pick. I wish I should have pulled up stats too when it comes to seeing who has been favored thus far, whether it's the blue or the red side.
What do you? In stats? Do you have?
For me,
you know
the blue side.
Oh, the blue side.
Yeah, for
why?
The blue side. Because I think that when I start to play Mobile Legends, I just always used to play in the blue side. You know, like when I go to the red side, I get lost. You know, it's like, I don't know who's a gold lane, who's the excellent hero. I'm kind of lost. Something like that.
There's markers now. I'm just kidding.
I feel like
Thank God.
Initially I used to favor the blue side, but as we've kind of come into a lot of these drafts later on into the playoffs, I feel like we don't have the standard drafts. I feel like a lot of these teams have been going into the draft with the purpose of trying to leave certain things open. So like while you might claim yourself a good pick, you're immediately going to be able to respond with 2 good picks on the red side as well. So it's been something very interesting to see and to develop here. Another Fanny ban. I don't even remember that we've had a successful Fanny here in this house.
That's what I was thinking. It hasn't been, from what I've seen, but okay. Maybe we're missing something here.
A lot of teams ban a Fanny, especially when they face Alpha7 because of a flick. So the Fannies that he brought, it was a very good one. Like his win rate is very high. It's not invincible, it's not indestructible, but most of the teams, they prefer avoiding this problem, you know, like this bad situation so far. So maybe here, not maybe, for sure, Fanny and Freya are the bannings so far. I'm waiting for a Zunshin in 9Z. 9Z, where is Zunshin? I'm not seeing it.
I think that's going to be Zushin and Phoveus have kind of snuck up. Well, Zushin has always been there. Phoveus has really come up very quickly as like an S tier ban when it comes to a lot of these drafts. We just saw from the last game the amount of damage that he's able to output, and there's just no stopping him until he's finished. You have to sit there and you're like, wait, am I still alive? Okay, now we can finally start attacking Phoveus because he's done with the demonic slams he's able to issue out on us. Zushin has been one of those. We did see, I think, last series that there was a decent being able to kind of, I'm not even sure really counter her. It wasn't the countering Zushin herself. It was basically the priority of the team fights being far away from Zushin while a Lapu was back there basically harassing her the entirety of the game.
Yeah, they're gonna go ahead and ban the Eve instead of Zushin here. I guess they find that more of a threat than she is. They are taking their time here to figuring out what they want to ban. That goes to show that they kind of respect each other, right? And making sure that they don't give out any freebies here.
Yeah, so for me, like the surprise here, like both teams are cooking. Okay, now Alpha7 comes with the Zunshin here on the second ban. All right, so now they have to work like on Fovio's banning or Baxia's banning, for example, or maybe like their early game ones like Harley or Suyo. You know, there's so much. There's so many broken heroes for so less. Bans here, at least on the first phase. So both teams have to think like very much before these bannings.
Yeah, so they go ahead and they throw the Harley out there. And while I'm not sure that this is to take it away as much as to have kind of an off ban out there, now you have to make the decision. Do you have Baxia or Phoveus out there as the first pick coming out? Which one are you going to ban out there? And you know those are 2 great picks too as well that don't really have a lot of great counters. Personally, from the stats and stuff like that, I might let out a Baxia just because maybe I've forgotten how bad he was just because I've seen so many Phoveases dominate, and we've seen so many Boxias, like absolutely, like we didn't even see him at all, did we? From the last series, he was banned out completely.
Yeah.
So yeah, but here they're gonna go ahead. The Phoveus is gonna come out immediately for the side of 9Z.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. But I guess Boxia, makes a really good support jungle. I always noticed that he was more of a support jungle. Like I always see him low in kills but high in assists, you know. So he gets that engagement to the team. And Rico, he's trying. He's like, come on,
come on.
There it is.
It's the book. It's the book, Zina. So you have the book here, the rules.
You got it.
The guide. Okay. If you ban
Boxia, it has to be. It has to be.
Yeah. But guys, jokes aside, it was like the meta here like benefits us so much for views. Now, I believe here like the response coming out from Alpha7 can be on Suyo, for example, for Flick. Which is like, Flick is a very aggressive jungler when it comes to assassins. Like, he plays a very much and very well with Hayabusa, Lancelot, or Suyo, for example, especially with the assassins one. It's not like dealing well with the tankies on the jungler, you know, but so far, Hylos and Harriet for Alpha7. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. The Hylos is kind of peculiar. Harith, I was almost going to say this kind of, the Phoveus pickup kind of backs away from a Harith pickup on the side of Alpha7 just because of the dashes will be great for Phoveus here. But apparently I feel like Alpha7 have an answer in mind to be able to stop the Phoveus. Hylos isn't really going to be that peeler for Harith. He's going to throw down that glorious pathway. He's going to try to engage onto the team as fast and as possible and try to slow them down while keeping that healing up for them. So this is actually kind of a little interesting for me. I very much want to know what Alpha7 has in mind for this. That's because that does open it up. I felt like Suyo would have been interesting pickup to go with on the side of Alpha7, but they do allow 9Z to go ahead and pick that up. Carry as well to hopefully get to that late game and be able to burst down the Hylos.
Yeah, I don't know. This doesn't look good for the side of Alpha7 because you are right. Because once I saw Harith, I was like, Phoveus, isn't that what he's made for? To handle the blinks? So I'm kind of confused as well. Is there anything that can stop it? Does ZTN's like CC that rains down stop him like during his little thing, or like from doing his ultimate?
The light shines even brighter.
Well, I mean, I feel like if you're going to use Zeshian, you're kind of playing with fire. You have to line it up as soon as Phoveus is on the ground and pray that he's not up in the air through a demonic slam, or your CC doesn't matter because it didn't touch him there. We're going to go out with a strong Leomord, a strong front line for the side of Alpha7. So maybe the idea is to kind of create a spread and a separation between your front line and the back line. So where if Phoveus does jump onto the back line, he's going to be so far back that the rest of 9Z is not going to be able to really help out with a lot of those fights. And I've seen that happen before where Phoveus has to dive so deep onto the back line that he has no help and he's able to easily get bursted down. Just not in the opening minutes. He's very dangerous at that level 4 or that first objective fights.
Yeah.
All right, Rico.
Yeah, especially now, like picking Leomord here, like the Alpha7 needs a strong side. Okay, one here is Harriet versus Carry. This is going to be a very interesting matchup. Now Valier is the last banning here from Alpha7, and we are waiting to see the last one here, the last ban coming out from a 9Z Globant. But once again, the XP lane here has to be a very a strong one, especially when it comes to Leomord and Hylos to get this dominance on the river and the objectives especially. So maybe a Lapu Lapu here could be the ban. Oh, not anymore. So sorry about that. But,
it could be the ban. Just saying you said the ban.
Yeah, it could be. Okay. But they still have some choices here, like Terizla, for example, with the penalties on, could be I don't know, it could be for execution. Depending on the middle lane, could be a choice for Alpha7, or there's no glue actually. Alice, I don't know, especially when it comes to the magic damage, maybe. But once again, it has to be a one XP laner, like a one strong one, one independent here. Irenos, that could be a possibility, maybe.
I feel like you want to savor Uranus for the option of a Harley pickup coming out. So I feel like here, I feel like a separation for the side of 9Z, something like we were talking about before, the Cho, Kalea, something to be able to kind of kick aside Leomord or Hylos so that the rest of your team can possibly burst them down. We still are looking for a Roam and a Mage, which play well into that type of scenario. It's just a very strong front line here by the side of Alpha7, and I'm wondering. And then you've got the engagement into the back line by CC as well, who's going to be able to kind of really nail into the backside with a decent amount of regeneration when it comes to her health. Kind of looking for those last two picks, like we said, looking for the mage. Ooh, Kaja. Okay, so they're going with that isolation that we were talking about. It's not the Kalea, it's not the Cho, it's another version of it, the Kaja. I only wince, and I'm sorry, I nothing against the combination. I don't feel like Kaja has been as successful in a lot of the picks. And I feel like when it comes to options, Kalea was taken off the board. Okay, Cho is still out there. Who else were we talking about before? I think you talked about Glue, which was taken off the board. So, I mean, there really weren't many options for it, unless we're not as confident on the Cho on 9Z Globant, possibly.
Yeah, that could possibly be it here. They picked up the Gourd. I wonder what they will be choosing here for Alpha7 there. They're missing their mage as well. Right. Oh, Zetian! I was right. But, well, like you said, it does probably need that timing. Timing to make sure it gets correctly.
Yeah, but it's still here. I don't think that Kaja is going to sing, as a bird, no, or something like that, because the target on the other side. Harriet has a dash. Leomord has the Phantom Steam. Paquito has the Glorious Path. The CC has the mobility. The only thing left is Zetian that can work so well on the ultimate to spot the enemies and trying to avoid this kind of a pick-off coming out from Kaja. So I'm not seeing like a very good situation so far for 9Z Globant here, Private.
Yeah, that was kind of my concern, is like, who is your target? Anybody else but Harith, I think, is going to have a problem if you grab them. Harith is going to have some disengage tools to be able to get away as well. If you bring, God forbid, you bring a Leomord back into your team and you're going to be fighting off a Phantom Steed powerful in the back on your backside too as well. Maybe it does work the same way. I feel like the Cho was a great counter for the Hylos out there, but Rico, go ahead and take us into the beginning of this second series.
Let's go, everybody! Welcome to the Land of Dawn. This is the first game here. 9Z Globant versus Alpha7. The upper bracket on fire so far. Taking the chance and opportunity to say hello once again to the people on the chat. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your audience. Thank you, Rice, Dress Ray, Pinoy, Eagle, MLBB, Miyazaki, everyone, that fool. Thank you so much, and let's go, my friend Private.
Yeah, I feel like there's a possibility here. 9Z Globant, especially with Feshin on the Gourd. Here, you bring out the Gourd, you bring out the Mystic Gush, you bait out Flick to try to come in with the Phantom Steed, which I feel like I feel like Feshin is going to be a huge target. But when Flick comes in, maybe you can go ahead, latch him up with a Divine Judgment and pour him deeper into your team, I guess. It's interesting. I want to see what 9Z Globant. We've doubted them in the past. They've come up so well, and they've got such a great base for excellence right now that I don't want to doubt what this composition can bring, especially with the Phoveus on their side. That's going to be able to do a great job of just pouring on the damage, especially in the first objective.
Yeah, we gotta agree here that the idea from 9Z working with this Kasha is good. You know, like it's not a bad idea, but I think that we are concerned about like the targets on this situation. You know, because you have a Leomar. Okay, Flick here is taking a lot of damage, so she has to take care. But oh, he's done it.
Yeah, Chino actually takes a lot of damage. Gonna have to come back with that demonic force. It does open it up for 9Z Globant to go ahead and pick up that objective, though. So I feel like that death wasn't in vain for 9Z Globant. They do pick up the first turtle.
Yeah, they got the turtle here, but the first kill was for Alpha7. It could be worse though, because the kill was to Paquito on Hylos, but they got the first turtle here. So the goal lead here, there's no different so far after like 3 minutes on the first game. But oh, Aburo Crazy.
Ooh, Yeah, Burl Crazy taking a decent amount of damage. 4 members from Alpha7 trying to chase him down. Fashion. Luisinho is going to go ahead and launch off a little bit of an evil queller there. Connects with 2 members, but no worse for wear. Both these teams being very respectful, not trying to get into fights that they can't handle just yet.
Yeah, so far here, like after 3 minutes, we were saying like both teams are focusing on getting the farm, focusing on like controlling this mini waves and reaching the highest levels as faster as they can. And of course, for Aburo Crazy to find someone lost, to find like a specific peak off here, especially right before the objective, right before the turtle. But once again, as we were talking about here, Private, it's not going to be very easy for this Kasha.
For me, the big strategy for Alpha7 is going to be able to kind of understand where Fashion is on the map and be able to close the distance on him to shut him down. That's going to be something that's going to be a huge problem for Alpha7 if they aren't going to be able to answer it right away. 13 seconds left on this first turtle, or on this next turtle.
Yeah, the second one here, 7 seconds. 7 seconds. Oh my goodness. It doesn't come out. From this next turtle here, both teams are aware, and now I think that Alpha7 is going to start this turtle. Yes, so here it comes, Private.
Yeah, gonna go be Hasu there, going ahead and beginning at Paquito on the backside, looking for an angle to get in there, gets caught. Oh, they catch Chino immediately, who's gonna go ahead and start locking down with some demonic forces. Out comes the stun immediately from a lot of the members there. 3 members back there. Chino on the backside. Luisino coming in for the damage. Are they gonna be able to find Paquito? Is down. The big damage coming out of the Mystic Gush from Fashion there, but the turtle does still up. Both sides do ignore it, looking for those kills, and unfortunately for Alpha7, does look like they are on the back end, the back foot there, backs against the wall as Paquito gets taken out, because that's going to be a big tank for a lot of this damage.
Yeah, so the knock-up here coming out from Chino was huge, and it was very crucial for 9Z Globant. Not guarantee the kill on Fashian's hand, but to get the second turtle. Private. 5 minutes after on the first game here, 2 turtles for 9Z Globant. And okay, the goal lead is not a big deal for 9Z Globant, but hey, we're talking about Alpha7, so this game here is going to be very interesting for 9Z Globant.
Yeah, it's really interesting too, because Alpha7 were kind of roaming around there looking for a good pickoff, and Paquito decided to lay down the glorious pathway to catch Chino. I feel like of all the heroes that you could go for in the early game, Chino is the one that could negate the most damage if he slammed down with that demonic force. They were able to get the stun on him, they just didn't have the burst, and that really kind of led it to keeping them there, which allowed Fashion to kind of come in with the stun, with the Mystic Gush, to really lay on a lot of damage. We take a look at the items here.
Yeah, corrosion side for carry, Starlim side here for Harriet, like the both guaranteeing the first item here and the boot so far. Glowy wants for both mid laners here, Zetian and Gord, and the Ice dominance and the War Axe here on X lane. But now here in the mid lane, Alpha7 taking the actions. Oh!
Yeah, Mystic Gush comes out there. 31 seconds still till the next turtle is up there as well. Paquito does find a stun onto Alburo Crazy. But first, a little bit of a pull there onto Paquito. Glorious Pathway laid down, and this was the problem I was kind of seeing. You grab Paquito, and what does that really help your team? And now they turn it against them. 2 down for the side of 9Z Globant.
Guys, look what I found! It was like, it's not so good idea here for Kaja, Alburo Crazy. I mean, once again, the idea, like on the theory is very good, but even once again here, the target for 9Z Globant is not that easy, because okay, you brought who? You brought a Paquito with Hylos? My goodness, you saw the response coming out from Alpha7, the Glorious Path, and the rest of the teammates with the follow-up, with the sequence of causing damage, and now everything went in good for Alpha7. 2 kills on Flick, the Leomorn, the jungler for Alpha7. So once again, okay, 9Z took the tower on the bottom lane, working on the macro, okay, but they have to take care about these pickoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like we need to see. Oh, actually, going to lay a Glorious Pathway down again. Not able to find anybody just yet. Alburo Crazy lying in wait at the L bush at the mid lane. But maybe we need the rest of the 9Z Globant to kind of be on the same page. If he grabs that Divine Judgment, your response needs to be immediate. We need to layer on that the stun coming out from Gord there. Get that Mystic Gush out there as well to be able to burst him down quickly. Otherwise, you've wasted all of these abilities. You haven't taken down Hylos. He's healing up, and now you have the enemy team coming at you, and you have no more spells, no more ultimates, because you wasted them trying to take down the tankiest member of Alpha7. So it's going to be very interesting as we move a little bit later, as we start getting more and more damage on the side of 9Z Globant. Are we going to have enough damage to be able to take down the Hylos if we continue on with these types of Divine Judgments?
Yeah, so both teams now working on the macro here, working on like this pushing the minion waves, especially on the mid lane. 23 seconds, not only like not for Turtle, but now for the Lord, but Alburo Crazy once again.
Yeah, and that is unfortunate for him. Got caught and tried to find himself an escape, immediately flickered away. They laid down the Glorious Pathway alongside a Zeshian ultimate, which stunned him, and they were able to pick him off quickly. He wasn't even able to find himself an escape. Not that Akaja is that tanky in the first place, but man, unfortunate for the side of 9Z Globant, now looking at a 3-kill deficit.
Yeah, now the Lord here is started by the Alpha7. Oh, Shino, what are you doing?
Yeah, he goes in, takes a heap of damage coming out from the CC. Nobody even able to close ranks onto this Lord right now. Upatizi comes in, able to find a kill onto Alburo Crazy. The rest of Alpha7 disengage after they... Oh, I don't know if they were able to get that, or now they're going to go ahead and start on the Lord. It's on the 25%. Not much from the side of 9Z Globant that they're going to be able to do to even come in to contest this.
Yeah, first Lord now guaranteed by Alpha7 in a one good moment on the game so far. So once again, 9Z trying to fight back, trying to find a solution here with that situation, but it's not that easy. You know, at least the goalie is not getting larger for Alpha7 so far. It's only like almost 2k or 1k and a half for Alpha7. 2 towers now for Alpha7, and the Lord heading on the top side. And I think that things are getting complicated for 9Z Globant Private, because by the time that the minutes were passing, the time where it was growing, you know, the more the composition from Alpha7 is getting more tanky, it's getting more resistant, and it's getting more difficult to this Kaja trying to do something.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I understand the game plan that was kind of coming out. It's just right now the execution, there's just too much tankiness on the side of Alpha7. Not many targets that Alberto Crazy is going to be able to close the distance on. Lord up at top just took care of a tier 2 tower. Another one at mid goes down as well. Or actually the tier 1 tower at mid goes down.
Yeah, so now here almost at 12 minutes. He's still Alpha7 causing this pressure, getting a domination here, especially on the map. Oh, here comes!
Yeah, Glorious Pathway is laid down, but now already you can start seeing where the minutia of this plan starts coming into play. You don't even need to engage them. You can just use the Glorious Pathway to separate 9Z Globant from the tower, and there's nothing to stop you from sieging on it.
I was about to say that, you know, okay, here comes the Glorious Path. Okay, just to zone the players, to zone the enemies, and guarantee one more tower here. So there's a very good use for the ultimate from Hylos here also. So once again, Alpha7 getting this advantage, you know, like step by step, minute by minute. They are not like, they're not in a hurry. Okay, they have a carry on the other side here with the Trinity core items here, Golden Staff, the Demon Hunter. It might be a problem for Alpha7, but the way they're playing like together on these blocks here, especially to guarantee this macro. So I think that 9Z has to do more than they are doing so far on this game. So even for carry, the things are not getting easier to guarantee the victory for 9Z Globant.
Yeah, and while I'm trying to think of like what the difference is if we would have had a Cho here to try to execute this plan. I guess the Way of the Dragon has more time of CC to be able to get somebody down instead of like just a nice little disengage there trying to come out from Chino, and a beautiful ultimate coming out from the Zeshian as well. Hesu's gonna be able to find a kill, a double for Hesu being able to find on to 9Z Globant, who have to disengage from this fight again. Meanwhile, you can see already 9Z Globant starting to get desperate, is going to have to go ahead. Luisinho going to go up to the top to try to get himself some split push, but it's immediately going to be answered by Hesu.
Yeah, losing 2 players here in the last team fight was like it was not so good for 9Z Globant, so they didn't want to fight back this Lord. Luisinho, as you said, Luisinho headed up for the top side here to push that minion waves. Once again here, Alpha7 getting this advantage, you know, like turning large and one. It was the Phantom Steed. I thought it was the Glorious Path. It was like, okay, what for this Glorious Path? But no, it was like the Leo Mord here calling the horse to get in the orange buff as fast as he can. But now the Lord heading on the top side once again, and maybe now this a Lord, I think that Alpha7 could take more useful on him.
Yeah, I mean, we saw two blade armors actually come out there. Flick and Paquito both pick up the blade armor now, starting to get to the point where they understand that Gusta Lagusta should be coming online, so they're going to make sure that they can kind of hopefully offset that type of damage. Now, Lord up at top, tier 2 tower at mid, almost down. It's going to be down through the minions as 9Z Globant looking to make short work of this Lord. Luisinho unable to protect that tier 2 tower, which is unfortunate for 9Z Globant, sitting at a 1-7 game in favor of Alpha7. Ooh, they do find Paquito again, and the ultimate again coming out from Frostlane E to be able to shunt any type of offense that comes out from 9Z Globant as soon as they find that Divine Judgment.
Oh, Gusta Lagusta here got 1 kill on Upa TZ, and now forcing Alpha7 to head back. They took down the high ground tower on the top side here. It all seemed to be the end for 9Z Globant on the first game, but Gusta Lagusta got the kill. Once again here, looking at the items. Malefic Gun now for a carry, while Harriet has the Infinity Glaive, the Stallium, the Heavens, and the Holy Crystal. And now carry is heading for the Golden Meteor on the last item here. Radiant Armor and Blade Armor here on Hesu's hand. But one thing here that I see, Private, is at this point of the game, I think that only the only thing that 9Z can do is like to observe, now to watch and wait for a specific time to wait for Alpha7 to make some mistake, especially on this position thing, because this is the only thing that I can see 9Z Globant doing here to reverse that situation.
Yeah, another divine judgment lands on the Paquito, and they still able to get away, even taking the full front of the Mystic Gush from Fashion, and he's gonna go back to base. Oh, and this has to be unfortunate for 9Z Globant, as they have to be realizing now, it's like, oh, okay, well, because that went perfectly for them. They were able to get the divine judgment, they got the stun, full Mystic Gush on him, and it still wasn't enough to take him down. Chino now trying to come in with that demonic force, gets stunned and bursted down by the likes of Hesu. Now continuing their way, Alberto crazy from the side, Upatizi with the kill there as well. Gusta Lagusta looking for an escape, might not be long for this world as they're chasing him down. Flick does find the kill there, 12-2 in favor of Alpha7, and they don't even continue on the Lord.
3 players down. Alpha7 here ignores the Lord, but they still have Fashion here with the guard that can clean wave these minions. But here they come to the end, Private.
Yeah, 2 waves are starting to sync up here. Glorious Pathway is out as well. Mystic Gush immediately gets taken down as Hesu finds the kill there, and a team wipe for Alpha7, followed by the core.
Domination here from Alpha7 on the first game. Here comes the victory, 1-0 to Alpha7, Zena.
Wow. What a game. But both teams, they were doing so good in the beginning, but I think it's more they were trying to feel each other out and kind of get to see what strategy they can use. At first, 9Z was doing well, but after that, they kind of snowballed because it seemed like Alpha7 was able to get the majority of the kills, and from there, it was like a snowball and they took everyone out, and there was no room for 9Z to breathe. It was
I mean, we kind of saw it right from the draft when it came to having the Kaja out there. I mean, it's kind of known a good strategy against a Hylos would be the Cho to be able to single out the Hylos, kick him away from his glorious pathway, and then the team to be able to kind of burst him down. Unfortunately, I feel like you need to really take advantage of that in the super early game to really kind of hold the Kaja down, to keep him like under farmed and stuff like that while you continue to do that. And that just wasn't the case here. And I feel like the selectiveness of our targets, there just wasn't another avenue for 9Z Globant here when it comes to who do we go for, because you weren't getting that far back to get to Frostlane Eve on the Zeshian. Hesu's going to be able to find themselves an escape as well. It's just unfortunate for the side of 9Z Globant, even with the perfect execution of that type of composition, you saw that Paquito was still able to withstand the damage that was coming out.
Yeah, not only seeing from 9Z's point of view here when it comes to Bodo Crazy with Kaja, but when it comes to the execution coming out from Alpha7, it is a very interesting one, because you have the ultimate from Zetian with the Glorious Path with the Phantom City here. So the follow-up from this kind of execution is a very, very interesting. And to end it up with the golden key here, it comes to the Upatizi damage from Harriet and the CC here from Hassel. They were playing a very solid. So this execution was not so really far. So at this point of the game, we were seeing like a Bodo Crazy getting a surprise sometimes with this execution. So it wasn't good for 9Z Globant at all. And by the time that Bodo Crazy was trying to do something, it was like trying to use the Divine Judgment to isolate a player, for example, from Alpha7. The response from Alpha7 was immediately. So they were chasing down a Bodo Crazy to get the kill and get the advantage. So far and on this first game, Alpha7 dominated.
all right. Every game, well, every team fight seemed to start with this player. It is, not start with the Hesu. What? Okay, I got confused. I thought it was going to be the jungler, but wow, Hesu made it and took it 507 KDA, 36.1k total damage, and 661 golds per minute. Hesu with the CC. Okay, I see you.
Yeah, it was beautifully enabled by the front line of his team and these stuns, the Fury of the Phoenixes that were coming out from the Zeshian as well, that allowed him to just continue smacking them back with the yo-yo hits as well. So great enablement from his team there.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought that it would be to Paquito here with Hylos, like with 11 assistants. But Hesu here playing so well, especially with a CC here, with a very solid XP lane when it comes to CC, to like with this continuous damage here with this heavy yo-yos coming from this lady. So Hesu once again like showing his potential, showing his strength when it comes to working as a teammate, working as a team, a group here on Alpha 7. So it is very important, especially